I got the Fuji X-T4 in early 2022, and after almost 3 years, I can't ever imagine selling it. This isn't a new camera, so this won't be a review of the technical specs or questioning if it's worth it in 2024. It is. This is more of a long-term review of what it's been like to use this camera as a hybrid creator and how it fits into my current work now that I've shifted to doing more editorial and documentary style work. When I first started, I didn't have the money for multiple cameras, so I really needed a good, true hybrid camera for both professional photo and video work. The Fuji X-T4 films in 4K at up to 60 frames per second and H.265, which was perfect for me, and I would still argue is today. When filming in 4K at 60 frames per second, it does come with a crop, but that's really a non-issue. 26 megapixels is more than enough for photos, and the lenses for the X-mount system are incredible and relatively more inexpensive than other lens mount systems. I think every lens I own for this camera but one is a native Fuji lens. I love the character on Fuji lenses, and all the ones I have works pretty well with the autofocus system. Now that I'm accustomed to having an aperture ring on a lens, it's hard to purchase ones that don't have this feature, even on my Sigma L-mount glass for my Leica SL2s. This camera really allowed me to develop and design my creative visual style. The film simulations, the high dynamic range, the lens options really allowed me to dial in looks that I can consistently produce, which is really important when people are looking at your portfolio. After 2+ years of using this camera, there are 2 major cons that make me pick up either my cinema camera or my Leica SL2s. The first one is that it overheats and gets hot really quick. I live in the South. It gets hot. And as much as I would love to say that the only time I have problems with the heat warning coming on or being too hot to the touch is when I'm filming outside, I'd be lying. If I record more than 2 YouTube videos in a row, just talking head style while filming indoors, it gets hot. It's great for B-roll and shorter clips for social media, but as a documentary filmmaker, this can't be my A camera. While I have a lot of lenses for this camera system, and they are relatively cheap compared to other brands, which is a huge plus if you're switching systems, the camera body with the lens on it just isn't small enough to be an everyday carry. Now that I have a true cinema camera and another full-frame hybrid camera, I don't need the Fuji X-T4 as much for professional work. I mostly end up taking it to creative industry events because of the smaller footprint in comparison to my Leica SL2s. Fuji has put out some incredible cameras since the Fuji X-T4. Will I upgrade? Eventually, yes. I don't think I'd ever sell this camera. It just has a lot of sentimental value for me. Right now, I don't feel rushed to upgrade because I don't think there's a Fuji camera on the market that has everything I'm looking for. I think the fan add-on is smart because that handles the overheating issue, but ideally, I would have liked to see an FX30 or FX3 style body with the XLR top panel included, just with the Fuji sensor in an upgraded camera. That would probably be my perfect camera and something I would easily upgrade for when I'm thinking about having a 3-camera system. The closest thing on the market to what I'm looking for in a replacement third camera is probably the Sony A1 Mark II. The 4-way screen, the high megapixel count, the 4K 120 and 8K recording options, and the overheating resistance are all things I'd want in a new camera. Honestly, Fuji could get close to that with 6K 60 frames per second, open gate, and H.265 with, the 40 megapixel sensor they have out now. I'd be happy to upgrade. And since I'm doing some wishful thinking, I wish they would find a way to integrate the ND filter system that exists in the Fuji X100 series into their next lineup of cameras. We know it's possible. Just make it happen, please, Fuji. Many other lenses have front diameters that are just too small for commercially available variable ND filters without a ridiculous amount of step-up rings. That's all from me. I hope this video was helpful, or that you at least enjoyed some photos and video clips from this incredible camera. Happy creating, and see you in the next video.